Hi students, in last lecture we have started unit 2. So we have gone through a set theory. So topic for today is finite and infinite set. Now first we will see finite set. A set is said to be finite set if it is empty or it can be put into 1-1 correspondence with the set N. I repeat the definition of finite set. A set is said to be finite set if it is empty or it can be put into 1-1 correspondence with a set N, which is a natural number with n elements. Suppose I have n3 that contains 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now in this set we have 3 elements. So this set is finite set. Now we see cardinality of finite set. Now if A is empty, then cardinality of A is equals 0. Okay, and if A is non-empty, set containing n distinct elements, then that set of A, that cardinality of A is n. Now we can assign a 1-1 correspondence f from n to A. So our f is function and this function will be 1-1. Okay. Now we will see infinite set. So finite set is if set is empty or it can be put into 1-1 correspondence. Now infinite set, a non-empty set which can't be put into 1-1 correspondence with a set N is called infinite set. Okay, I repeat, a non-empty set which cannot be put into 1-1 correspondence with a set N is called infinite set. Now see, in finite set we can put 1-1 correspondence, but infinite set we can't put 1-1 correspondence with that set. And the cardinality of infinite set is always denoted by N0. Okay. Now there is a one theorem on finite set just remember the definition of finite and infinite set. We will use this in countable and uncountable set. Now the theorem is the number of subsets of a finite set having n elements is 2 raised to n. I repeat, the number of subsets of a finite set having n elements is 2 raised to n. Now we know that if the cardinality of A is n, then set of all subset which is power set, so cardinality of power set of that element set A is 2 raised to n. But now we have to prove that the cardinality of power of A, that is P of A, equals 2 raised to n. So we will prove this by using induction method. So first, by principle of induction, that is mathematical induction. So first we will write proposition, that is P of n. So let P of n is a number, be a proposition that for a set A, we will consider there is a set A having n elements where there are 2 raised to n subsets. That is, our P of n, that is a proposition, is the cardinality of A is n, then cardinality of P of A is equals 2 raised to n, where P of A is a power set of A. Right? Now first, step number 1. So we will prove P of 1 is true. For this, we will write the cardinality of A is 1. Now there is only one element in A. So what is a subset of A? Which is empty and A itself, right? So there are 2 subsets, right? So cardinality of A equals 1, then cardinality of P of A is 2 raised to 1, that is 2. So our P of 1 is true, right? Therefore P of 1 is true. Now step 2, we will assume that P of K is true. Now what is P of K? If cardinality of A is K, then the cardinality of power set is equals 2 raised to K, right? Now we will write step 3. In this step 3, we will prove that P of K plus 1 is true. That is, to prove that if all cardinality of A is k plus 1, then we have to prove that cardinality of power set of A is equals to 2 raised to k plus 1. Now we know that if A having k elements, then the cardinality of power set is 2 raised to k. But there is a one more element it's there in step 3. So we know that cardinality of A is k plus 1. Now see, for k elements there are 2 raised to k subsets, right? And here one element is extra, right? So 2 raised to k subset will remain as it is, and in every subset that extra element will be added. I repeat, so 2 raised to k subset for that k elements as it is will remain as it is, and in every subset that extra element, that is that plus 1 element, will be added. So there are also 2 raised to k subsets for that extra element. So now the total subsets are 2 raised to k plus that extra element that have also 2 raised to k subsets. Now from this we will take common 2 raised to k. So remaining part is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Now this can be written as 2 raised to k plus 1. So we have done to prove if cardinality of A is k plus 1, then cardinality of P of A, which is 2 raised to k plus 1. Therefore P of k plus 1 is true. So we can say that P of n is true for all n belongs to next number, set of natural number. Okay, so we are done to prove the number of subsets of a finite set having n elements is 2 raised to n. Okay, now there is a one more example on bijective function. So let A be a finite set and if from A to A, codomain and domain is same, is a function such that f2 of A is A, which is identity function for A belongs to capital A, then show that if it's bijective. Now for this case we have to prove that if is 1 1, that is injective, and also onto, that is surjective. So first we will prove the f is 1 1. First we will show that f is injective. For this we will take 2 elements from domain. So I take A and B from domain A such that f of A equals f of B. Right? Now we have to prove that A equals B. But f of A equals f of B, and we have the value for function f2 of A equals A. So we will multiply f on both sides. So we get f into f, f square of A, same as it f square of B. Now as we know that f square of A is A, so this will be, LHS will be A. Now same as it is f square of B, which is also B. So we are done to prove that f of A equals f of B, then A equals B. So we can say that f is injective. Right? Now from given we know that A is a finite. So let mod of A equals n, and the function which is f from A to A is 1 mapping from set A to A. So cardinality of domain is equal to cardinality of codomain right. So we can say that f is 1. Now we have to prove that f is surjective. Therefore, for every A belongs to domain, there exists a pre-image, right, which is belongs to B. Sorry, there is one mistake. For every A belongs to A from codomain, there exists a pre-image in A which is domain. Therefore, we can say that range of f which equals A, because the domain and codomain are equal. So from this we can say that f is onto, which is surjective. Right? So f is 1 and onto. Now we can say that f is bisective. Okay. Now in next lecture we will learn our main topic, that is countable and uncountable set.